Good, Chhatwalji. So welcome to Shri University. In fact, let me introduce you, Dr. Chhatwal, coming from Harvard University, that too as Director Institute for Technology Assessment, we had that first chance to talk to you online. Then we were waiting for your visit and then finalize our memorandum of understanding, the broad understanding of that one thing that we say, maybe we have common grounds for research and where we meet, and we with that note start our discussions today. I think I would like to know more about one thing first. How do you see Shri University? You spent few days here, and our environment, our outfits, our people, and prospects for partnership.
Yes. So first, I would like to say that I'm really honored to be here. It has been a pleasure. The last 2 days have been wonderful. I've seen a lot of interactions, amazing work that is being done here in the university, starting with the expositions put by students. And I was so impressed by, from food to architecture to artificial intelligence. The work that is being done by students is quite...
But you were very fortunate. You landed here when the Puja Gurudev ji is here, because it's once in a year kind of festival or event that we have always.
It's definitely a very special time. And then seeing the lot of development happened in the university. And I was amazed that in the last 12 years, how much work has been done, and all the awards, accomplishments, the rankings that the university has achieved is amazing and quite impressive.
Normally, Dr. Chhatwal, there is one thing that bothers people, when you go to a new university, well, it's too small, it's like this. As I think you said during the day earlier, I was catching a letter. How do you rate a new university in India vis-a-vis, like you are representing Harvard University, huge and others? What would be the right kind of statement for comparison? So it's not, because we are no comparison.
Yes.
But then old universities and new ones, what's the difference actually? Normally one should be having that perspective of looking at the institutions.
So for a new university, what in my opinion matters is the development, the growth, the strategy plan, how fast it's moving forward. Because it's 10 years is a very small time for a university compared to...
Nothing, it's like 10 weeks old child actually.
Absolutely. So, and the development...
By the way, how old is your university? That's Harvard must be.
Harvard Medical School is about 240 years old.
200. So I was visiting Cambridge when I saw 712 years, and I said, my God, with generations.
Yes.
So your university would also be...
The university is older, Harvard University is older, medical school is about 240 years old.
240 years means something.
Yes. And so for a new university, then it's the growth, the opportunities that lie ahead is what defines a new university, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think what I have found here actually is, maybe you will vouch for that or confirm that. If it was old, I have worked with several universities, some of them like India's oldest agriculture university, Pantnagar. The problem there is the mindset is very old. They said there is a big carry baggage. You cannot, if there is something new, you hesitate to push change. And if you push change, it comes to a breaking point also sometimes. With the totally new university, you are blank check. So you can write it any way you want, and they are willing to adopt anything that is new. Is that true, that it should be seen like that?
Absolutely. The flexibility, the potential that you have, it's in a new university, new places, you can take it in whichever direction you want. Whereas that's not possible for an old institution. Let's come to our main focus on research that you are for that purpose here. What kind of prospects you see working with us or any other institution in India they should be thinking of? Like, it's a matter of, since yours is a, in a way, policy institute, as you were saying. From that viewpoint, what is it that you see the potential for us to grow? And that if, as a friend, we were to ask you professional advice, please, and what do you see there are greatest prospects for us that, okay, if you take this direction, that would be fine. There would be more international
partners interested
Yes.
like you.
Yeah. So I would say research is one very important component of a university that can move the university forward, and research in different areas that can also open the doors for collaborations with other institutions within the.
We are feeling that. That's very much. That's why I asked you, what are those areas where there are great prospects for East-West partnership? I should have put it right in the beginning. What is it that you being from the East, based in West, you see, well, these are the kind of areas where back home my institution should actually be working, where then there would be an international interest. We really want to increase our international partnership in that sense.
Yes. So that's interesting the way you put it. I'm thinking differently. I'm thinking from the West point of view, how West can benefit from the East. So,
well, each one thinks of it. So
yes,
we are thinking how we can benefit.
And I can
from
answer
you.
that first, and then I'll come back
Okay.
to your point of view.
Yes.
From the West side, and coming from the Eastern background, been exposed to Ayurveda, yoga, meditation, breathing,
that is your
breath work.
strength as a professional.
Yes, but they are not in the mainstream in the West, and we have seen the benefits. We are seeing research done. Despite that, it's not as come in the big mainstream.
Do you think it's largely because the present day accreditation demands a research verification?
That's a big part of it.
And that has not been there.
Yeah.
Or rishis did, and that could not be passed on to this generation. So it's a hearsay. That's why it is not
Absolutely.
a
It's not acceptability. So that's what we need to do. As a scientist, we have to close that evidence gap.
Good enough.
An example is turmeric. Is thousands of years people have known the anti-inflammatory properties of that.
Yeah.
It's only recently in the last few years we have known that it can help in preventing certain conditions. So it's the Ayurvedic route, which it has been there, but historically, but only now recently in the West it has become very acceptable. So this is one simple example, and similarly we should be doing more research on understanding the effects of Ayurveda, yoga, meditation.
I think that is
Kriya.
even more important.
Yes.
One would say, what should happen, like any Western would say, what these guys are doing.
Yes. And we have
If
research.
somebody was to tell, well, if you do like that, like Tim Draper said, Tim Draper had that problem.
Yeah.
So for him, probably it was a shocking surprise that you could find out whether your health is really good within 2 minutes by putting up something that was non-abrasive.
Yeah. So that's the example of the work. I'm thinking from the West perspective. And now from the East perspective, from your side, like what things? I would say again research. If there are opportunities to collaborate with other institutions on research, that will open up many doors. That will help both sides, East and West. And
this is one area we are in fact on developing that. That's the reason you are here, and we are building partnerships likewise with industry, with good institutions, good laboratories as one of the. We have seen that, but it was basically for this health and wellness. Ayurvedic is one, you said, and we have osteopathy, yogic sciences, all these things. It's a great area. When we talk about international partnerships, activities-wise, program areas-wise, is it only the research interest, or there is also interest in the West, or how the universities are positioned for students exchange also? Or earlier there used to be this thing, hey guys, you send for PhD, but those things slowly diminish nowadays. That's much less of that.
The student exchange
those areas which are of interest to the West.
Yes. In addition, faculties, you can invite faculty from other institutions, which is very common in business schools. They have
business
faculty,
schools have.
It's a very good model. They invite, have visiting faculty from different countries, and they bring their own perspective, exposure. So that is helpful. So
that is now a new buzzword thing in India, that you don't really employ people permanently. You pick up the best guys around the world and put them on your faculty list. Adjunct professors. So divide the whole year amongst them and invite 10 people, and the whole year is gone, and the students are happy because they are exposed to the international knowledge. That would be one of the things. So that's about part. Now, in general, now we go a little bit further. This whole education thinking, you know that we have now a new education policy. Globally, how do you see the shift? So far, it's been West-dominated thing. Of late past 20, 30 years have been China, India rushing towards West to acquire that knowledge. I'm aware of Chinese. I've been a visitor for China and knowing them very well. Same thing from here. Do you see any shift in that coming years? How is it going on with the universities there? Financially, the student movement wise, and in the context of present global changes that are happening actually. Do you see a shift of students, and what should be advised in a way to our students? They should prepare mentally to stay on here and study, or say, as we say, be good and then you go to the Western countries for study.
Yeah, it's a hard question, and
well, your
I have my own conflict of interest because I went to the US for studies.
Those were the times. Those were times. If I was lucky, I would have also gone. but I went in a different way. I went around, and then I've never been a votary of going out. There was one, this Jack Ives from Colorado University. Good friend, but a great adversary because I never accepted his theory. And then one day he did agree. We were in London. He said, Tej, you have been a wonderful leader of opposition with me, and I agree that you were right and I was wrong. But let me say, your people have a problem. They accept whatever we Westerners say. There are very few people like you who would challenge that. No. And I admire your guts that you were like that 10 years ago. You are the same even now. And I think you are proven right. Like that kind of thing. So from that count, how do you see the future turning? Will it change? Will it remain the same? Or but much coming from how you see Western institutions and your own students coming or not?
So now what's happening is the education is becoming global access is available to everyone. You can take classes from Harvard, MIT sitting here. Many of them are free actually. So that the barrier for going there is removed.
It's a big change globally. Yes.
Barrier for cost is reduced because many courses are open and free. That opens up the knowledge is there now. People who want to.
It was not there earlier. It was not available to us actually. There was no way.
Yes, absolutely. That is changing, and the whole world is changing now with the movement of AI, artificial intelligence. So that. We don't know yet how the education system will change, but we anticipate that it will change. The way we learn things, the way what we need to store in our minds, heads, that will change because now we will have access to a new, very powerful tool, and we have to learn how to use it, to make the best use of it.
That is right. In that context, there is one thing when we think of West from a university perspective. It's not only us, but all over India there is one dramatical craze about admitting Western students to be. This is one of the parameters in national rankings framework. How many international students you have? What prospects you see for institutions like us? If I put it in a different way, why would Western students like to come here? Americans, Europeans, or Africans? And if at all, if we have international students, which regions you see or the countries, they would like to come here? If at all the US guys would like to come here, what would be their demand? Which knowledge they would like, and for that they would come?
Well, I'm already seeing that happening here. I met yesterday one of the professors who's come from UK on osteopathy. So this is already happening. So that answers the question, offering something which is very unique here.
Well, that we call him actually we need. That's how we normally engage osteopaths from Europe.
So that is one example which the uniqueness that programs that are being offered will attract people from all parts of the world. And also adding something, a new angle to other programs can be helpful. And it's a challenge for a young university. That's for sure is the case for anyone which is like 10 years old, 20 years old university, which does not have the the brand recognition of a university or place that has been there for 50 years, 100 years.
Yeah.
So,
but we will take years before we have brand like your Harvard brand,
But
So-
the strengths that, as we were talking earlier, the flexibility.
Flexibility, yes. I think it's the same way. The way earlier people needed to be from rich families to become rich and start. Today, even a beggar, if he has a good idea and then starts up, and then 5 years time he becomes a millionaire. That might be for universities also, that even young universities can have a turnaround in brand value if they catch it right.
Yes. And speaking of that, the unique programs like the
So what's the advice for us then? How do we catch it right?
offering something unique and which is valuable to others.
What unique do you see for us here?
I mean, one is the unique programs that are being offered, which are like osteopathy is one thing, and other is on the research, or bringing the angle of not necessarily research, but the strengths of this place could be brought and forward with the collaboration with others.
All right. Well, finally, let's talk about our own partnership that we have signed an MOU. It's a broad understanding that thanks that you were here. I appreciate that very much. So which areas would you like us to pick up for partnership? And that you are in which areas you have interest in building the partnership?
So yes, we are very happy and excited for that MOU we are signing. It's and we hope that we will be looking at integrative health.
That's nice. That's our forte.
And then we have our institution is known for research broadly at the population level, the economic impact, and collaborating with your institution, we would like to understand the impact of ancient medicine, Ayurveda, yoga, meditation on reducing infections, disease, improving the overall health of the population. And also that's very much close to type 2, the economic of the population. Actually, yesterday I was reading the report from the WHO, which mentioned that $1 trillion is lost every year because of productivity losses related to stress and anxiety.
I think these are new diseases really, and
yes,
for that sake the medicine is with us.
Yes, so absolutely. So looking at the economic impact and bringing the evidence forward will help in bringing the practices which are so powerful yet accessible to anybody.
Yes.
And looking at the impact of those, and that will help in bringing the practices in the mainstream.
That's wonderful. That's right. I think if that is your interest, area of interest, and we would also be equally interested, and that's we are building on stronger, then our partnership is going to grow very well, I think.
Indeed.
That's right.
Yes.
Good. Thank you very much. That's great indeed.
Thank you.
So, thanks for sparing time to come to the university and spending 3-4 days. I've never seen foreigners coming in sitting so relaxed, saying, "Hey guys, I'm going to stay for 1 day more and see more."
I'm very much an Indian. Thank you. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thanks.